Welcome to the Atlantic Global Time and Expense Management tutorial. In this tutorial, we will take a high-level view of the timesheet entry process, and we will cover frequently asked questions that customers have when evaluating this functionality. In a similar way, we will look at the expense entry process along with the expense claim, expense approval, and expense payment processes. We will also address questions that customers ask us when evaluating an expense management system. This is part of a fully integrated business management platform. We will touch briefly on other areas of functionality that include client and contact management, project management, professional services automation, and finally enterprise project portfolio management. This tutorial will also explore how the solution can improve your business processes, especially in relation to the capture, approval, and reporting of time and expense information. We will look at how you can streamline your internal IT systems. You just need a web browser to access our cloud-based solution. You can discover how to avoid the costs and hassle of deploying, maintaining, and upgrading internal IT systems. See how you can remove duplicate effort by using a single, fully integrated, low-cost solution. Continuous improvement is also a key benefit. Upgrades happen regularly. You can choose to adopt new functionality as and when you are ready. You can choose to configure the solution by adding new fields and reports to meet your current and future business requirements. Let's take a look at some of the screens that a user would experience when they use our solution. When users first log into the system, they will go to the My Work tab, which provides them with their view of the world. It contains alerts and prompts to prompt them to update the system or to perform specific actions. The quick links are available to help a user to quickly navigate to other parts of the solution with a minimum of training. The timesheet entry screen. This screen lets the user log timesheets against a library of project codes and activities. The user can select the projects that appear on the timesheet entry screen. Alternatively, this can be controlled by the system administrator. You can quickly copy timesheets from the previous week to the current week. The administrator can restrict which activities may be logged against a specific project. Users cannot edit timesheets that have been approved unless the administrator gives them permission to do so. Let's look at the types of questions that customers have when evaluating a timesheet system. So yes, you can record time against project tasks for a given project. You can record the cost of effort worked on a project. You can record different types of costs and cost rates to represent normal time, overtime, etc. You can record time against chargeable and non-chargeable projects and activities. You can control which people can see which projects. You can permit a user to select their own projects from a central library of projects. You can restrict which activities are logged against which project. You can set a permission to allow staff to view and maintain timesheets for other members of their team. You can restrict access to sensitive cost and charge information. You can lock timesheets. This is typically used when exporting time to an external finance system. You can create budgets to continually monitor how much effort has been allocated to a given project. Let's look at the expense functionality. The expense entry screen. This screen lets a user log expenses against a library of project codes and expense types. The user can select which projects appear on the expense entry screen. You can enter multiple expense entries for the same project on the same day. The administrator can restrict which expense types may be logged against each project. Users cannot edit expense entries that have been approved unless the administrator gives them permission to do so. The expense claim screen. The expense claim screen lets a user create and track expense claims. It allows them to quickly create a new claim and it provides them with a portal to track an expense claim through the approval and payment process. Typical questions that we get asked about expense functionality. You can record expenses against lump sum expenses like accommodation. Alternatively, you can record expenses against unit-based items, for example mileage at 30 pence per mile, where the system would prompt the user to enter in the number of units. You can configure the system to show net, tax and gross amounts against an expense item. You can flag expenses as being chargeable and non-chargeable. You can restrict access to different expense types to individual members of staff. You can permit a user to select their own list of projects from a central library of projects. You can restrict which expense types can be logged against which projects. You can set up permissions to allow staff to view and maintain expenses for other members of the team. You can restrict access to sensitive cost and charge information. You can lock expenses if you're going to export them to an external system. You can create budgets to continually monitor the expenses incurred on a given project. Let's have a look at the other functionality that's provided as part of Atlantic Global Solutions. Atlantic Global Solution is a complete end-to-end business solution that can track everything from taking a customer inquiry through to the production of an invoice. Other areas of functionality include client and contact management, project management, contract management and billing, and also enterprise project portfolio management. The software market has changed and SaaS solutions are revolutionizing this industry. Customers are now looking for intuitive solutions that require minimal or no training. They want solutions that are easy to access, easy to trial, and easy to adopt. They need to be able to configure the applications. They need the applications to be flexible, low cost. More importantly, they need to have peace of mind. They need to know that their data is secure and the solution they're adopting is robust and scalable. Customers are now avoiding complexity, expensive solutions, lengthy rollouts where there's large internal IT overheads, systems that promise great things in the future. So the hallmark of a SaaS application is that it need not be high risk, complex, or outrageously expensive. Atlantic Global Solution is an enterprise strength solution that is easy to use. So ease of use, no additional hardware required, no additional software required, no need for any IT involvement to deploy this solution. Low cost, no capital expenditure required, no costly solution upgrades, it's all automated as part of the solution. No infrastructure upgrades, once again it's already taken care of as part of the service. This solution has a range of adoption models. The traditional SaaS is a cloud-based solution where everyone uses the same version. Note that you will have your own individual database. We can also deploy this solution on-premise. This is where we deploy it internally within your organization on your infrastructure. The hybrid option is where we deploy it as a hosted facility. This is where it is deployed on our infrastructure, but you can have your own personalized version of the solution. You will be getting a world-class enterprise strength platform in terms of infrastructure, application architecture, security architecture, and a range of support services. Suggested next steps. We advise that you watch the How to Evaluate this Solution tutorial. We provide a range of tutorials and other supporting materials to help guide you through the evaluation process. If your requirement is urgent, contact one of our advisors today and we can discuss your business requirement and explore ways that we can assist you during your implementation process.